Hello, my name is Dylan Walker. Today I'm going to talk about mixed cues, as explained in the book Bridges, Not Walls by John Stewart, pages 111 through 115. Mixed cues are a mixture of verbal and nonverbal parts. Some example of mixed cues would be like rate, or the rate at which you speak, pitch, or the tone of voice that you use, volume, being how loud or soft that you speak. Some other examples would be like quality of voice, silence, facial expressions, or even just gestures. Voice, one of the first things that come to mind in voice is the rate at which you speak. Rate affects communication. For example, someone who's a fast speaker may not always be able to get their point across to somebody that is hearing impaired or hard of hearing. The next thing that comes to mind is your pitch. Pitch can help people understand what you're trying to say. For example, if you're speaking in a monotone voice, somebody might not realize if you're being serious or if you're being sarcastic. This can change the direction of the conversation depending on how it was perceived. Another point here would be volume. Volume affects how you communicate with other people. So, for example, some people are just naturally louder than others. I know I can sometimes get to talking about stuff that I like and progressively get louder throughout the conversation. I usually get louder than what my normal conversation volume would be. Sometimes people see me as getting worked up, but some people can perceive others that are loud as being obnoxious, or even people that are soft-spoken, they might be perceived as being shy. And that brings me to the quality of voice. Many people could be stereotyped based off of their quality of voice. So one example of this would be a man that had like a higher pitched voice could be perceived as being somebody that's young. The next mixed cue would be silence. Silence can be interpreted in many different ways. Silence could express like apathy or someone who's not like interested in the conversation that you're having or the topic that's brought up. Silence also could express patience, boredom, fear, sadness, love or intimacy, and even anger or intimidation. Silence can be used positively or negatively. The next topic is facial expressions and words. Um, when someone speaks to you, pay attention to their facial expressions that they have. This could give you a good feeling as to how the talker is feeling. Some common facial expressions we see are raising of the eyebrows, rolling of the eyes, or just simply a smile on their face when they're conversating with you. This gives you a good idea how to respond to an individual if you want to carry on a thoughtful conversation. Uh, Lastly, about facial expressions would be eye contact. Eye contact is very important. A lot of times, eye contact can tell you a lot about the conversation you are having. For example, when somebody isn't looking at you in the eyes while they are talking, this could be perceived as them lying about what they are telling you, or they may just be uncomfortable with the conversation that is taking place. Also, eye contact could tell you how engaged a person is with the conversation. It also can tell you, whose turn it is to speak. The last topic is about gestures and words. Gestures during conversations are connected with what you're trying to say. So these could be things such as your posture or interactive gestures. Interactive gestures, as pointed out in the book, relates not to the content of the conversation, but more of the relationship between or among the people communicating. Some examples are when somebody says, "Do you understand what they're saying?" or when they say things such um, as you said. Um, these things involve the listener.